forgot to load one of the video files. Oh my goodness. Yo, what up? It's Donut, and you tuning into all your Illuminati news. Yeah, what's good? Paranoid American up in the building.
You know it's me because I got the silly hat.
Yeah, look at that silly hat you got on there. We're going to cover This is BLUEBEAM tonight, but before we start the show, make sure to smash that like button. Joey Poop Bag up in the building. Hello. That's his screen name. Hello, everybody. Hit the notification bell. We're streaming all over the place. 3 eyes up in here. We going to get wicked smart tonight as we just had the government holding these Congress hearings on UFOs. I'm going to break down. This is all a psychological operation connected to every single thing that we see going on. Absolutely worldwide. It's connected to the whales. It's connected to the dolphins. It's connected to the Illuminati. It's connected to MK Ultra. It's connected to the AI. It's connected to mostly the left and climate. That's the craziest part. It's connected to eugenics. It's absolutely connected to socialism, though. Socialist, communist, leftist mentality, with this eugenics mentality that they have as well, with Julian Huxley, who is on this big thing. We're going to break that down. It's going to be a great show for all y'all. And I still think a big ritual going to happen with Biden this weekend for the Jake Paul fight. But we're streaming every single night, getting y'all pumped up for the Illuminati comic. We're doing so well because of your support on the Illuminati comic, crushing through the stretch goals. The stretch goal for tonight, let's get 300 backers. We already got 288 backers. Let's get this up to 300. Got those links down below. Get your Illuminati comic. Get that chit track. And also get all the awards that come with it. Get on to the Illuminati Street Team. Get on to the Illuminati Yacht Club. Get the VHS box. We're going to be releasing the VHS box art here shortly. So look out for that. That's going to be amazing. Got those links down below. Let's see if we could crash through that goal tonight before the end of the stream. We got 288. Let's try to get it to 300 tonight.
And every time we get a new one, we'll feed Chan a treat or something.
Yes. Every time we get a new sign up, Chan, he gonna get a treat. We gonna give him a treat.
So if you want Chan to get his dinner tonight, then you kind of have to sign up.
Yes. But I want to kind of just dive straight into this UFO report that is happening with the symbolism. First, the Pentagon, for example. Let's break down the symbolism of the Pentalpha. This is the Pentalpha. A lot of people don't know what a Pentalpha is. But it's the 5 points. That's why the fist, you got 5. It's like a strength thing. 5, fire. Pentalpha. It's the symbol for water, but as you can see right here in the middle, there's the pentagon with the star. A lot of people say this is a satanic symbol, especially it is when it's inverted. So when it's upside down, it's definitely used as the satanic symbol, but it's not an evil symbol. It's mostly based off of just what water is. And early Christians even use this symbol. So these symbols aren't evil. They just get hijacked. And Pentalpha, Alpha Genius, we're going to have to talk about these monkeys and go to that segment.
Well, also that inverted pentagram, I believe that the one that made it popular as being evil was Eliphas Levi. I think that he's the one that actually stated that if you invert it, it gives it like a bad intent. And ironically, of all people, Aleister Crowley came back into the scene afterwards and sort of made claims to the counter. And he said that inverting it doesn't make it bad. But I don't know. Do you trust Crowley when he tells you something's not bad?
Well, the symbols definitely take hold and do hold power. Symbols are what control the simulacrum. A symbol of a hat, like if you wear a hat and let's say the hat's red, it's going to offend a lot of people. So that's a symbol. So symbols hold power over the simulacrum, right? That's what holds a lot of power. They have meaning to it. Um, yeah, that's that's where
Well,
I
I think
stand.
the more that you know about a certain symbol, I look at all of them as memory devices. So the more that you can pack into the symbol, like it's the symbol's not the thing doing the work most of the time. It's you doing the work and putting it onto the symbol. And the more powerful a symbol, the more information that it can store for you.
Yes, it is. And I feel like books are like that. After you read a book, like I got this book pulled up right here, The Holographic Universe. I haven't read this in like two years or something, but I did read the whole thing and made a presentation on it as well, that we're going to get into because it plays a role, all these different books, and it's a symbol. That's what I was trying to get at, is like having it just on the bookshelf. I look at it and it makes me remember all the information that's in there. And this is the holographic universe. So I it's been a while, but looking at it, it went into, are we living in a hologram? So when the Manhattan projects happened, for example, the whole thing was creating this big explosion. But some of the information that's left out is Bohm's research on the holograms. And we titled this is BLUEBEAM because of what is happening right now is people are going through Project BLUEBEAM. It's just not the way that we all thought it was going to happen, but it probably will go down eventually the way that we all think it's going to happen with holographic aliens all over the place. But this book goes into the theory of a hologram and how our brains work very similar to a hologram. That the memories that you're talking about, if you remove different parts of your brain, you can't pick where the memory is in the brain, which is kind of, maybe they can now, but at least reading this book, they couldn't. I know they're able to replace memories with optogenetics and light bulbs.
I
But
have seen a few wild studies where they were able to take basically like pictures of memories from someone's brain as after they had watched some movie or some sequence, and they were able to kind of retrace and correlate those to the frames that they saw in the video itself just by analyzing their brain, which is kind of wild. And it seems like as soon as someone realizes what they've got there, you would immediately make it top secret and then say that it wasn't possible.
right. And so here is a video that I did covering this book. And right here is a holographic film plate. And I can play the video that will explain it better than I can because I kind of need to refresh up on my memory of it. Let's see kind of what I was saying back when I was handsome. But it's very fascinating. The studies done on the human brain aligns with how a hologram works. The way a hologram works is they got a laser, mirrors, and a holographic plate, which is called interference, as it's a bunch of ripples. Look at that hair. Look at that. You see that hair?
That's
Paranoid?
not even hair, bro. That's a mane.
That's mine. That's back before I
That's that Gucci mane.
had internet trauma. Yeah, I'll keep playing. And once the laser hits these mirrors and reflects onto this interference ripple film plate, it creates the hologram. And we're seeing holograms of Tupac. They're getting the holographic technology down so much that you could physically touch a hologram now. And the technology that we see is decades later after it's been implemented by the military-industrial complex. I love saying that word. The military-industrial complex.
Well, now it's the military industrial entertainment complex. See, now you can tack another word onto it.
It's the military industrial entertainment complex.
That's right, because now it's almost inseparable. They use entertainment to sell it to the public. So then when it actually happens in real life and they see about it on the news, instead of being horrified or shocked, it's like, oh, cool, like that scene from Iron Man. You're like, yeah, exactly. Just like the scene from Iron Man.
I'll keep on playing it. So you liking the video so far? Making sense?
I'm loving it.
Somebody says backwards hats are evil. I'm going to continue playing this.
But if you rip up the film plate of this ripple image that creates the hologram, it doesn't matter which piece you rip up, it'll still show the hologram, because this little film strip contains all of the information of the hologram. Just like a brain. They've done studies on brains where they take out different parts of it, but the memory still is there. So there's no place in the brain, it's all connected, and they call it an engram, where all the information is stored. And in just one of these film strips for the hologram can contain over 50,000 pages of information.
Oh, so smart, bro. Back in the day.
There's another series of books and a really good video that you can find from this guy called Isaac Bentov. It's ITZHAKBENTOV. I think that's how you spell it. Isaac Bentov. And one of the talks, he talks about this holographic brain theory. And kind of like you just had is that example with the film strip, and you can kind of like chop it up in little pieces and they all have the information. He had, this is the guy. He had a very similar analogy, but he was saying that if you go out in the middle of the night after it like had rained that day, and you look on like little dewdrops that are on like the leaf of a plant somewhere, and you can see the reflection of the moon in them, and it's not like you only see a tiny little like droplet sized chunk of the moon, you see the entire moon in that droplet. And then if you go and look at like a lake that's nearby and look in the lake, you also see the entire moon. So it's not necessarily the amount of information, but what changes is the amount of detail that you can see in that information, like how expansive it is and how much extra context you get. But it was such a great point that I've always remembered that, yeah, if you look at just a tiny little droplet of water somewhere, it reflects the entire room, but you just won't be able to make out the resolution because there's not enough kind of there for you to see. But the whole moon is there, and if you had eyes that were powerful enough, you have like microscope eyes, then you could legitimately see the entire moon in there. And part of that holographic theory is that if you slowly get all the dewdrops and you start pushing them together and make this big pool of water, now you get a much clearer picture of that thing that you saw all along. So that this holographic brain theory is almost like the more times, this is how I interpret it, the more times that you can learn about a certain topic, but from a bunch of different perspectives, it's not like you're learning more about it. You're just getting a lot more context and a lot more detail about that thing that you're learning about. In his case, it was describing the moon.
Somebody was saying, what's the symbol of the donut? And according to this guy who wrote this famous book, Stalking the Wild Pendulum or whatever, remember
that's the main book, this Isaac Bentov guy.
Yes, I remember that guy was brought up with this hologram research. Someone's bringing up, what's the donut? Well, according to this guy, the universe is a donut. Right here, it's the toroidal field, which is a donut.
The garden hose variety donut.
Yeah. So BLUEBEAM, it ties into it. What we're going to be talking about today with this alien psyop. But I want to just show some more slides. Maybe I won't play the video, but just some more slides from all this information in these videos. Look at that salamander. They were cutting up the salamander's brain. Here, I'll play.
That's a oxalotl, I think.
That's an oxalotl?
I believe so.
Look at that face.
I'm pretty sure that's an oxalotl, if I'm even pronouncing that right.
So they cut up this oxalotl's brain.
No.
Whatever this is. Here, I'll play the clip of it. But this is the theory that we're in a holographic universe from the studies they did of they cut out their brain and replaced their brain and like switched it around and they still function fine. So it was like for their memories. I'll play that clip real quick.
Hologram by taking a salamander, and what he did was he removed the salamander's brain and the salamander couldn't do anything, and then it put it back in and then it functioned properly and fed and all this. But then he split the brains on each side and it was able to function. No matter what they did with the brain, where you put it, it still worked properly. And so he started doing it on mice and rats and stuff like this, and the same thing happened as everything is connected. So this Neuralink is definitely going to be playing a huge part of what I believe will be what they call the fake alien invasion using holograms.
Oh yeah, so this video was a while ago, and I guess that's what I believed then, which makes sense. Young handsome donut was making a lot of sense there.
I like
They're
that.
gonna
I've
put the
never heard that.
Neuralink. They're gonna put the Neuralink in people, but they don't even need to put the Neuralink fully in them, and then it will be able to control their mind, what they see.
I never heard the research about taking the brain and mixing it up and it's still fun. Although there's no one there that can ask the oxalotl or the salamander, like, hey man, are you okay? Are you doing okay through all this? Like they can't really do that. So but I guess it's remarkable that the body would continue to function. And it reminds me too, there's this really old case. You ever heard of Phineas Gage? Does that name sound familiar to you? It's
Phineas Gage.
Phineas Gage. And what happened, I think that he had a metal rod that went like all the way through his head, like clean through it. And a lot of people would have expected him to not recover from that. But not only did he recover, but he was fully functional. However, he lost his personality. Like his personality completely disappeared, but he remained to be like a normal functioning guy, I guess. And this is sort of known as almost like the birth of neuroscience was when people started figuring this out, and that you can actually lose. I mean, I guess this is why RFK Jr. is still around, even after the worm ate the little hole in his brain, is because you can survive with giant chunks missing. No, it's got to be the right chunks. Like I'm pretty sure there's certain parts of the like the frontal cortex or maybe even like the reptilian brain that if that gets damaged, it would be an issue. But yeah, this rocked my whole world. This changed everything that I thought once I heard this story and figured out that it was like a legit story.
Okay, so
Yeah,
this
look at that. It went straight through and it took out all that matter,
Dude,
but he survived.
I gotta screenshot that for a thumbnail right there. That's how you go viral. Is use it. That should have been the thumbnail for tonight.
There's a fascinating historical story with like it's not just one of those weird rumors like, oh, I heard about this guy, because after it happened, he was like a medical marvel. So they had all sorts of people constantly testing him and interviewing him, and they did autopsies. And so yeah, this is one of the most monumental historical cases.
Gosh, this is okay. Y'all see me. I'm gonna be using this for the thumbnail tomorrow night. For sure. That is creepy.
This video will blow your mind. Or is he just doing the one-eyed Illuminati? That was just an elaborate excuse to him permanently give the Illuminati eye sign.
So that is the Illuminati eyeball. A lot of people are I feel like when they cover, like they don't understand. People don't even understand the symbol of Set and Horus and all that, and symbolically and all that. But that would be the right one for Illuminati eye of Horus's eye getting gouged out by Set. Symbolically, that would be the Illuminati eye. You know what I mean? Looks like, does he have Sanpaku?
I mean, I definitely see it under, but that also might be because he's looking up at something.
Yeah, Yeah, but I mean, tragedy did go his way.
Yeah.
Now, I got to get into the monkey stuff because we were talking about the Pentalpha and the Alpha Genesis lab where all these monkeys escape from, and I definitely want to go into that segment first if it's okay
Yeah,
with
let's
you.
do it.
Okay, cool. Monkey watch. I just wanted to hear that song.
If anyone's paying attention, the last that we checked earlier today, they had not found any more of the monkeys. So the same number are still missing, I believe.
Well, 32 monkeys captured, and 32 is like a huge Illuminati. That's how many spokes on the Jesuit sun, the 32nd floor, a lot of 32 symbolism symbolically. So I thought that was interesting that they have 32 monkeys captured eating PB&J sandwiches. But this goes straight into the look at that Illuminati eye for the cover.
That's
That's
some Paku too.
that monkey got so this is Sampaku eye that Jake Paul has for the fight, and it's symbolism in my opinion. But look, it's the Golden Gate Bridge. I've been predicting the Golden Gate Bridge, but the monkey stuff and the alien stuff is sort of connected, and this is probably predictive programming, Illuminati eye symbolism of the monkey. Here's the scene of the Golden Gate Bridge. I believe the ritual will go down on the Golden Gate Bridge sometime. And just all linking up to that. But the movie Planet of the Apes, it was like he was in an alien world, but it turned out no, he was in America, in New York, I guess, right there.
Have you seen all of the Planet of the Apes movies?
The original ones, not the new one.
The most occult one by far, I think, was Inside the Planet of the Apes, where there's like this race of like superior elites that live like under the ground, and they're the ones that are determining how everyone on the ground kind of fares. That one just always felt so deep, man. That one was on like a whole nother level of any of the other ones.
Okay. Is it this one beneath
Yes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, yeah. It's not necessarily the best movie, but this one had the most occult meaning to me.
Wow. Well, I mean, it all goes into some alien stuff. So all the stories that were been told throughout the year from all the tunnels stuff, like the tunnels was a big story in the beginning of the year. But if you go back in alien lore, uh, aliens lived in these tunnels and underground and whatnot. So that's always been a lore in the alien culture. And this alien culture has been being pushed for a long, long time. I would say from the 90s extensively. And all these UFO conferences that happen are put on by the FBI with people like Eric Schmidt holding the cow mutilation conferences. When the Phoenix Lights happened, for example, this was a report making fun of the Phoenix Lights, like joking with everybody. But ironically, there's a connection to the lockdowns and aliens. For example, Storm Area 51, a Facebook event, a meme event, took place where they went to Alien 51. Look, I got Alien 51 DVD right here that we should watch. It's got Jordan Maxwell and Alien 51 there. I won't show that cover too much. But it is connected.
In Germany, I assume.
Yeah, America's Secret. And it just once you learn the symbols, you can see through a lot of the BS that's out there and a lot of the propaganda through a lot of the symbolism of like this SS logo. You'll see that Joe Rogan has it, and he has like the UFO. He's pushing the UFO agenda with the mushrooms. But the thing is that the world was locked down right after Storm Area 51. Storm Area 51 happened, and seriously, like a month after that, the entire planet was locked down. Now, on March 13th, the day the Phoenix Lights happened, that's also the same day that Trump declared a national emergency for the lockdown. And once you just see the connection of lockdowns and how great it is for the climate, that everybody's in their home, the planet was doing much better. You see this United Nation leftist push, like people like Greta Thunberg and whatnot. You can see that they still push this agenda as well today. Everything leads back to in my opinion, from looking up this research, a lot of it leads back to some leftist stuff. But it's all connected to alien stuff. I won't keep on ranting.
Well, I want to point out too, when we're talking about all the blue beam and the UFO sort of operations, that there is a precedent for some of this that you can look up right now and see that it wouldn't be far-fetched. It was called Operation Mongoose. And Operation Mongoose was a larger program, but it was basically about undermining Cuba. And it was when we were trying to get Castro out of power. It was the CIA. And one of the many different programs that they had was, and this is going to sound silly, but they were just like throwing everything at the wall at this point. But that they would fire off an insane amount of fireworks and somehow try and simulate the second coming of Jesus and use that as this way to just create massive panic and chaos. And the logic being that amidst that chaos, they'd be able to come in and, you know, usurp the government or throw like a coup or something. But this is kind of where the roots of blue beam theories come from. It comes from legitimate operations like Operation Mongoose, where they were trying to do something very similar to this.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. A lot of this is connected to these intelligence operations, CIA and whatnot, connected to the alien agenda. And it's also been part of the blueprints from the social engineers of our world, going back to like the H.G. Wells, War of the Worlds, and those think tanks that that group of Aldous Huxley's, Julian Huxley's were all a part of.
Which was Rockefeller funded, by the way. Rockefeller Foundation, I believe, in part funded the War of the Worlds to even be broadcast.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know what War of the Worlds is, it's pretty much what like fear radio shows do, or podcasters. They're like, oh, you gotta go get the vitamins, you gotta, like, they're copying off this blueprint of War of the Worlds, which was a radio show of a fake alien agenda coming from H.G. Wells. And I broke down some of the symbolism I'll show here in a little bit. But it's interesting that who's the guy who was the star of this movie? Wasn't it
Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise?
And just like the star of the radio show was Orson Welles.
And Tom Cruise is the Scientologist, you know? And
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it, but you got to think about the alien connection, though, with Scientology. It's a UFO cult. Just like the Raelians or the Vril, which went on to create the National Socialists. That's why the symbolism that Jordan Maxwell and Anthony Hitler did goes well with it. These are all UFO cults. The one that Kanye tweeted about and then was removed.
The Raelians, yeah.
The Raelians, or even the Heaven's Gate portal. But Harold Putoff is who, with Blink-182, who coincidentally their logo, Blink-182's logo, is also a swastika. If you look at their bunny, and 182 is part of the 128 code, but the bunny is a swastika.
Oh, I've never noticed that. That's kind of wild, yeah.
Yeah, and who's revealing the UAP files? The person who revealed this image that we see in the background, classified CIA documents, is the guy from Blink 182, where he is just a puppet to Harold Putoff. Harold Putoff is a high level. Not only he went to Stanford University, which is the compromised campus that Dan Bilzerian's dad went to as well. But he is one of the top guys of the Church of Scientology, and that's who he's in business with To the Stars. Tom DeLonge and Harold Putoff both run this company To the Stars to expose the fake aliens. And the only way they're going to expose these fake aliens is through drugs, because they're resetting the autonomic nervous system that John C. Lilly talked about. And this is a new movie that's out, My Old Ass. I haven't watched it, but it is trending #1 on my Amazon Prime. And it's about a girl who takes mushrooms and has a great time or something. So they're like this push for mushrooms, going back to JP Morgan pushing the mushrooms through Life magazine and the Skull and Bone connection that goes deep there. It's all just super sus. Like it's all alternative, but it's all sus. And look, we just crashed through over 1,000 people tuning in. You tuning into all your Illuminati news. And we here with Paranoid American. I want to remind y'all, every time we pass through 1,000 people, to smash that like button, please and thank you. Share the video out. Paranoid American and I are doing live streams every single day for the campaign of the Illuminati comic. We're trying to get 300 backers today, so click the link below. I know a lot of y'all already backed, but make sure to go click that link below and subscribe to the Illuminati comic. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We got Illuminati dolphins in the comic, of course. We've got Illuminati, all of the different animals that you hear Donut talk about. They all made it.
Yes. Yes. Isn't there like a dolphin toy?
Yeah, I'm piecing it together now, actually, but an Illuminati dolphin playset that I think it's going to end up being like a John C. Lilly theme, where we'll have John C. Lilly and a dolphin, maybe some mushroom. Who knows? There'll be like a bunch of cool stuff in it that'll all be related to Illuminati dolphin. And I think it pretty much is just going to be available to whoever grabs it in this campaign at first, because these things are all handmade, small batch. It's not like we've got like a factory somewhere pumping these out. These things take a while to sit down and put them all together.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I got my homunculus toy and I love it. Christy says, whoop whoop. Happy birthday, everyone. Thank you. Catherine bringing up Flipper. Yeah. Penguin Dolphin.
I watched Flipper all the time growing up. Like reruns, obviously.
You were into Flipper?
Flipper. Was it King of the Ocean? I can't remember the whole theme song.
Joe Rogan is pushing drugs and aliens too. Yeah. Yeah, it's been wild, but I think we're coming up. I don't know if you saw the moon tonight, but it was absolutely huge. Huge moon. And we're getting ready for this big full moon on November 15th, the day of the Jake Paul fight, which will be pretty much probably streaming. This is back when YouTube used to have dislike ratios. Remember those good old days?
Oh my god, I actually forgot all about. Remember Netflix had them too, and then who was it? Amy Schumer came out with like a stand-up video, and it got absolutely bombed in the ratings. And then Netflix was like, "All right, now there's only thumbs up buttons."
Yeah, I wish we still had these thumbs up buttons, because all my videos get all thumbs up because of y'all smashing that like button. Thank you very much. But I still think that Biden's going to be replaced through the Biden replacement ritual. the Build Back Better Biden baby ritual, the 666 ritual of Biden, because he did his 666 speech, the Build Back Better speech, on October 1st. October 1st, you add 6 days, 6 weeks, and 6 minutes, it lands on November 18th, the 322 day of the year.
Damn.
This is an old video. This is back, obviously, Bitcoin hitting the 666,000. BTC is 322. That's pretty cool. So these are old videos that were on my Patreon that I'm just bringing up. But Biden, I think, will be replaced because he's connected to that date. We're coming up on the 322 day in this full moon. I think he's going to be replaced.
I think he will probably have to go kicking and screaming, but not that matter. Like, how strong could he be? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think like them changing the date of Netflix, right? First, Netflix is a propaganda warehouse for mind control. It's ran by, that's what it's for. Leave the world behind, what is a political tool of the Obamas for predictive programming of when the internet crashes out. Something that's trending right now is internet crash, or people crashing out on the internet. Tommy Truthful sent it to me. Let me find where it is. As there's a bunch of outages actually happening. So this is the thing, and I've been seeing it actually in comments. Oh, I'm not even showing my screen. My bad. Why is the internet crashing out? People are having breakdowns on the internet, freaking out, crying, and having these wild posts. It's probably connected to the DTS. But this has been happening worldwide where people are crashing out. Now, I think this is just subtle programming of using words and NLP tricks of the masses, especially the young ones, for when the grid goes down, which was like leave the world behind programming for resetting the new currency system, because that's what that movie really was all about. When you watch it to the end, it was about bartering. He was like, here's some dollars. And he's like, do these even are worth anything? So there was a hint to that. And please interrupt if I'm just
well, I also think that this concept, kind of like David was saying in the interview the other day, how Elon Musk's role is to usher in a concept and they get everyone familiar with a concept. And a lot of people would make that claim on like Stanley Kubrick, like maybe his 2001 Space Odyssey was also a way to like sell this concept. Here's what everything would look like, so when they see it happen, it's not a surprise and everyone has a template to fall into. And I think that these kind of articles are basically telling you, hey, it's normal to have a mental breakdown online and record it and put it online everywhere. So when this happens to you, go ahead and lean into it, because this is the new cathartic release. Like everyone's doing it. Look, here's a huge article about it. So if anything, it presents a new option. There might have been someone that reads this that never in a million years thought that they had an option to crash out and record it and put it on the internet. And now that's a thought in the brain. And that will actually lead to more people doing it, because you've kind of led them into this idea that, hey, this is an outlet. So I don't know. I think that this is just more about getting people to put their most emotional state and normalize you being at your emotional heightened state and recording it and making it public and let everyone see it. Because this is the kind of sort of data that normally isn't available to all these like research and AI algorithms, right? They don't really know a lot about human emotion outside of movies and TV, outside of people posting these weird crash out videos on social media.
Yeah, so I'll read just a little bit of this. Everyone online is crashing out all of a sudden. This is
That's
main.
NLP, right? Because it's not everyone. Everyone would be me and you too. So if there's even one person that's not crashing out, then it's not everyone. But I think that's kind of like that NLP trigger word. So now when you read this, you're thinking this includes me, the reader, because I'm part of everyone.
And what is crash out or crashing out everywhere this week? And Tommy brought this up because he was showing that the internet, it was crashing out. Verizon had the like third outage already, down for millions of people. This wasn't like even like really reported on. The Verizon's back out again. Here's New York Post. Verizon FIOS internet outages impact millions on East Coast.
And this affects everyone too. Like if a major leg of the internet goes out, it's not like it only is limited to Verizon FiOS customers. Everyone else would feel this because the way that a lot of these infrastructures work is that all the companies kind of piggyback on each other in order to get to whatever their destination is the quickest. And it's sort of like this universal, like way that they can do this through these huge junction nodes. So them going down, like even if you got Comcast or Spectrum or like AT&T or something, like you might actually still feel the side effects of a lot of this.
So this is like just something. Oh, this one's at 201. So just something I think is going on with just that term, but also astrologically and manipulating through the social engineering frequencies as well could be manipulating people's emotions. People are being pimped by an algorithm. The algorithm will make people angry. They will manipulate to an extent that is pretty impressive because Amazon's got patents that it will order and ship out stuff before you even order it, like a week before, just because it knows you're going to order it, like the probability of you ordering it, because it's been studying all of us. The AI has been studying all of us, and that's the 1-9, the 19, the lockdowns of the 19, the AI, alien invasion. It just kind of this totalitarian tiptoe. Storm Area 51. No, first 90s, all about aliens, X-Files, South Park. Everything was alien, 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 and the movie Aliens too, right?
And crop circles were huge right around then. Like crop circles, you don't really hear as much about these days.
Absolutely. I went to a UFO convention back in 2006, 7, 8, somewhere around then, to film it back in the day. And a guy did a whole presentation on crop circles, and he like lined up the ley lines. It was pretty impressive. And then the next presentation, they were busting out the crystal skulls, and it was so phony baloney. Like it was hilarious how fake it was. I was like, really? Like they brought out the skull, and then they had like two guys like look at it. They're like, oh, yes, like they were like totally fake doctors, like playing a role, like to like ask questions like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. Like it was so stupid. And I was just watching them, stoned out of my
Those are
mind.
creepy though. The crystal skull theories where you sit down, you stare into its eyes for long enough, and it can like manifest some kind of reality. Some of them are supposed to generate heat or cold, or I don't know. I like that theory. I want to believe in the crystal skull theories so much. I know Dan Aykroyd does too. I know he's all in on that.
Oh, Dan Aykroyd's the Ghostbuster guy. He's connected to the Hard Rock Hotel, and I did a deep dive on him. His grandfather, or his dad, I mean, one of the two, they were doing channeling of ghosts and spirits in his home when he was growing up.
I mean, that makes sense that he would become a Ghostbuster.
Yeah, yeah. And in Ghostbusters, he had the occult bookstore in that show. And there's a lot of symbolism in that. But there's just a lot of symbolism in all of these cartoons and movies, like Bugs Bunny, the bunny symbolism. I've been breaking down. It's a portal right there. You see that portal?
Yeah, of course, man.
Looney Tunes portal. This was my deep dive on the moon's connection to the bunny. Here is the bunny, and we showed you how it is a swastika, but there's also a bunny on the moon. If you look at the moon, and I learned this actually from a very, very short sentence in Robert Anton Wilson's Illuminatus trilogy. He writes a lot of crap. Not that it's bad crap. I'm just saying he writes a lot. But one line he says, and bunnies are connected to UFOs. I was like, that's strange. We're in the year of the bunny when I made this video. And then I did this deep dive on bunnies and UFOs. And it was unbelievable how connected bunnies were. First off, who was the first person abducted by an alien? It was Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny was the first by Marvin the Martian.
Marvin the Martian, yeah.
He was the first recorded abductee by UFO. And then the next one was and here's the rabbit hole, right? Which is like a portal as well. And then this bunny be traveling through a portal right here for Donnie Darko. And that's why I was like, that's a portal right there with the bunny. And this is the Hasty Hare in 1952, where Bugs Bunny was abducted. But if you look at Hollywood films as well, here's Gremlins. And who's next to the alien?
Phenomenal
E.T.
movie.
Yes. But it's Bugs Bunny sitting right next to E.T., the alien. Eric Torres, the extra testicle. But the bunny in alien stuff goes even deeper. So if you ever watch the movie Knowing, which is about aliens coming down, have you seen that film?
It doesn't sound familiar.
It's with Jack Nicholson. What's his name? Juan loves him. Juan likes him.
Oh, Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Jack Nicholson. This movie Knowing, it's about aliens coming down here. And here's like the main poster for it. And you can see she's carrying a bunny rabbit. So when the aliens abduct them to go on the ship, they bring nobody, but they bring bunny rabbits. Oh, and it's interesting to notate there's an eclipse right there. So we can see through that one little line in this Illuminatus trilogy that, holy crap, there is a lot of connections to the bunnies and the UFOs.
Well, that's an Asian point of view of the moon too, where in the West we've got the old man in the moon, but they've got a bunny that's carrying a satchel full of rice.
Yes. And so this is an old
Which
video.
seems like agricultural mythology, even though it's in a completely different culture. It is interesting.
So here's the Mayan moon goddess, and look at her, the left of her hand. She's holding a bunny.
We should cover that up. That looks uncensored.
Oh, okay. Let me skip through that real quick.
I was just kidding, but
what about that? That'll get us on the front page of Kickstarter.
what, Bad Bunny kisses a male dancer at the VMAs.
That's how we get on the top of Kickstarter. But here's the moon rabbit. But the moon is not really the source of the fake alien invasion for BLUEBEAM. It will be on the planet Europa, Jupiter's moon, not a planet. Or be on Jupiter or on Europa, which is like Jupiter's moon. This is where the octopuses come from, the octopus aliens like Cthulhu. And speaking of Cthulhu, let's talk about Mark Zuckerberg a little bit, because he just dropped a hot song with T-Pain.
And he's got his tentacles and everything too.
Well, yeah, some say that he is the creator of Cthulhu, that he's H.P. Lovecraft.
I see it. I do see it.
Is the alien Zuckerberg Look at him drink that water. Is he? Did I learn this from you or Juan?
This sounds like a Juan thing.
Okay. Shout out to the homuncologist, the one-on-one podcast. But Zuckerberg just dropped a hot new rap album with T-Pain. But this guy looks like the reincarnation of Zuckerberg. And here's Zuckerberg at Congress. We'll be breaking down this alien in Congress here in a moment.
This is before his like Jersey Boy glow up.
Yeah, and even Elon Musk as well, before Elon Musk's Jersey Boy thing too. It's definitely scary. That's like me, I guess, too. When I drink water.
And you know, in the back of the head is just like, okay, drink this water like a human would. They're not onto you yet, Mark.
I like the way Napoleon Dynamite drinks. He does.
Everything you do, 100%.
He's so funny. But Mark Zuckerberg just dropped the new single, Get Low. They covered Get Low. I can't wait to hear it. It's right here. I'm not going to listen to it, but that's pretty freaking funny. But we do have these hearings happening today. Very strange hearings. The second one, they introduced the aliens at the Mexican Congress, which is a UNESCO heritage site. And UNESCO was created by Julian Huxley. And Julian Huxley is part of this whole, this is how where it connects to the mind control and to the climate agenda. Because the alien invasion, if they're not going to be able, if they can't blame a group of people on the climate agenda, if they can't blame a political group of people on a climate agenda, if they can't scare the world with a lockdown on it, one of their cards that was written about was little green Martian men from Mars for this agenda. And Julian Huxley rocks the Wildlife Fund right here. So there's this connection between eugenics, climate, the Huxleys, enough said there, with all this. Charles Darwin, Aldous Huxley, and all that.
There was also the Huxley Foundation, which was basic. This one's kind of crazy, but even after eugenics fell out of favor because of World War II, the Huxley Foundation continued to exist and continued funding all sorts of eugenics-based research. And in 2006 or 2007, one of the descendants of the Huxley family, they put together a new foundation called the Huxley Family Foundation, which now that'll get all of the clicks. And that kind of like supersedes all of the original Huxley Foundation work.
Damn. And like, look, his brother was Aldous Huxley, who wrote Brave New World, which was about these drugs that people were on, and The Doors of Perception, which was about all the drugs that everyone's on.
And their dad was Thomas Huxley, and Thomas Huxley was known as the bulldog of Darwin. So whenever someone would challenge Darwinism, it was Thomas Huxley that would tend to go into the debate and fire everyone up and use all sorts of rhetorical skills. So they have a very direct lineage to the like Darwinism even coming onto the scene. Like their dad was the hype man for Darwin.
Yes, he was the bulldog for Darwin, that were coming from monkeys. That's kind of like going back to the whole monkey thing as well. How it seems to be all connected with these stories on the world stage and these different movies and books and whatnot. Even going into some video footage of Orwell And I made a video called the Masonic Mothership. I wanted to show you some of my findings of different alien stuff with different Masonic symbolism.
Oh, that's that cult of Tanit.
Yeah, so this right here was just an interesting like War of the Worlds like event that someone threw on. I thought that looked cool. But War of the Worlds, this radio show that was a fake alien agenda that now all the big podcasters copy off of for their business model. I think that the symbol is a Masonic symbol. Okay, there's little John. What was I getting into? Oh, look at this. Yeah, see, it's all connected. Here's little John with the climate stuff. The whole leftist movement for like Kamala and all that is all connected to that. Even Crunches, this is off topic, but he's playing a tarot card. He's a tarot card in this as well. But here, let me start from the beginning. I don't know if this is something. So I called this video Masonic Mothership from the findings I did with I don't think it was the findings I did. Symbolic studies, Mario.
Yeah. Shout out to Mario. He's awesome.
He is awesome, and he does the South Pole symbolism. So it wasn't really a Masonic connection too much. It was more of what he found with the Masonic tracing board and solar polar symbols. And see, I even quoted him right here at the bottom. Maybe I'll just play this clip real quick so I can remember what I was talking about. Is that cool?
Yeah, go.
Okay, here we go.
You have the solar, you have the lunar, and you have those corresponding pillars, and then you have this middle way, which is very much related to the pole star. And so a ladder is another corresponding symbol that relates to the world axis. As I've been saying, the northern sky, the stairway to heaven takes you to the northern sky. And Jacob's ladder, the symbolism behind it, literally is all about what you're seeing right here. So that is Jacob's ladder. That's kind of emanating from the bottom of the triangle. This is emblematic of that central pillar. So when people see twin pillars or twin towers out in the wild, there is an implied third pillar. There's an implied third way, or there's an implied opening or gateway. And at least according to my research, it always corresponds with the Eye of Providence, which to me, it appears as though they're corresponding that with.
See, I was trying to say it looks like a UFO ship, like abduction light right there.
Yeah, where like the all-seeing eye of Providence is like beaming somebody up.
Yeah, and then like what is it beaming up? If you look at the bottom, the checkerboard is like the color of the cow, and the cow's what gets, which is like a checkerboard animal that gets brought it up. But I'll continue playing it just a little bit longer.
Polaris, the eye in the sky.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look. Okay, no, I'll fast forward it. But I just thought that I think that's where, like, see, it's like it's abducting people, like pulling them up. So I think that's where that symbolism comes from, of this UFO abducting people through this light, right? Doesn't it just isn't it kind of the same?
Also, those two pillars there, Yakin and Boaz, they're
Yakin.
They're also been referred to as the purple column. I always thought that was interesting. And the purple column was, I think they brought it from like the Red Sea, or I can't remember where they originally brought it from. That the story was that Solomon, when he was building the temple and he put these two pillars up, that he was conjuring demons, and the demons were the ones that were helping construct all this.
Oh, snap. So the purple pillar would be
the purple column. And the column meaning both of the pillars combined.
Oh, so that's what column means?
Yeah, like a column of pillars,
Like a
like
fifth
all the
column?
pillars in one row. So, but in this
Yeah.
case, it's just two.
Like a fifth column is a well-known saying in America. Um, kind of like that, a fifth column. It's when all five of these are together would be like a column. Like one is one pillar, but when there's two, it's a column.
Right. Well, that was what the purple column referred to was the Yakin and Boaz.
You know what I found interesting? I didn't know that's what it meant, but this was interesting with the fifth column because the Georgia Guidestones, the fifth column collapsed. And a fifth column is a group in activities of acts of disinformation, sabotage, espionage, etc. Um, and I just thought that there must be a connection with that, with what happened with the Georgia Guidestones. Now, I think
I
that
like
this
that one. That one looks good.
you like this one right here. Doesn't it
Well,
look
like
like
the two next to each other, it works out a whole lot better too. And
okay?
sometimes it's like on the right there, it almost looks like a staircase. There's also versions of this where it's Jacob's ladder that has a certain number of rungs in the ladder that they're ascending into this like
Bro,
enlightenment slash
and
alien
now
mothership.
okay, so now this next slide. Now that you like this slide and you can see sort of where I'm getting at, this next slide will blow your freaking mind that I am correct. Now, what is on the right side? You see it's the eight-pointed star of Polaris, right?
Right?
Well, what is the UFO? So there's the eight-pointed star of Polaris. Now let's look at the UFO. Here would be the checkerboard floor, in my opinion. This is the eight-pointed star of, you see it right there?
Oh, this is Independence Day, isn't it?
This is Independence Day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I recognize that.
this is the UFO ship. It's the eight-pointed star shooting down the laser, but it's not abducting, it's destroying in this case. But what are the odds of that connection through the symbols? I think, and like right there's the movie poster. It's a UFO ship, and that is Polaris. It's the eight-pointed star that we just showed you with the light going down. I think that's where that symbolism's coming from. That's pretty good, huh?
I like that. No, the side by side was the highlight.
And World UFO Day falls on very occult days. And look, we just passed through an hour mark. I could talk for hours and hours and days about this UFO stuff. But we passed through the hour mark. I want to remind y'all, we're doing these live streams every single day for the Illuminati comic. We had a massive amount of success with all y'all support, subscribing to the Illuminati comic. Make sure to click that link down below. Help us get through our stretch goals and all that. Right here's the website. We're doing these streams every day. Very excited. I can't wait for the VHS box graphic to be done to show y'all how that's going to look.
And let us know, like in the comments, do you like daily shows? Do we go back to not doing them, or should we keep doing them?
Should we keep doing daily shows, or should we? Because it's a lot of information to digest. You know what I mean? So let us know for sure. Because it's definitely it's definitely lots of work.
I like it. I have
I
fun
like
doing
it
these.
too. I do too. And I like talking with you, Paranoid. You're so wise and wicked smart, and we all love you over here at the Donut Factory. And your artwork and your all your work is so incredible. And that's why I'm just so grateful to team up with you. I always team up with Pukey Pete. So he's who I always have teamed up with. I've never teamed up with anyone else, and only did art with him because his art was the dopest, and I only mess with the dopest. And I was like, bro, you did Sam Tripoli's comic, you did one-on-one podcast, Homunculus comic, you did your own comics, and they're so amazing and good that it was a no-brainer to team up with you.
Well, and we got Pukey Pete in here too, so now it's like the ultimate trifecta.
Yeah. Shout out to Pukey Pete. We're gonna bring him on. But as we do hit the hour mark, I do got more stuff to go over on this alien agenda. Is there anything you want to say before I go to our commercial break?
I love commercials. Let's do just the commercial right away.
Okay. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks on the Illuminati comic.
Yo, what up? It's Donut, and you tuning in to all your Illuminati news. Get your copy of the Illuminati comic. IlluminatiComic.com. You know you want it. Get early bird access to massive discounts and exclusive gifts. Dropping worldwide. Learn the secrets of the Illuminati. Access the secrets. Join the Illuminati Yacht Club. Get the Donut VHS box and join the street team. Click the link below. Limited time only. Access the secrets.
That's the best part. It's my favorite part.
Access the secrets. All right, I'm going to go to the second commercial, and then we'll be right back.
What up? It's Donut. The Illuminati comic dropped worldwide. Get your Illuminati comic today about the Bavarian Illuminati exposing the infamous secret society. It's a chit track Illuminati comic. Make sure to go back this project. We were fully funded in 3 minutes.
Learn about the full history of the Bavarian Illuminati. Adam Weishaupt, Alumbrados, Jesuits, Rosicrucians, Freemasons, and more.
We got early bird access today only. If you subscribe today, you get a massive discount anywhere in the world. The digital deluxe tier. Get the digital copy plus an add-on private video presentation. Get the black and white chit track Illuminati comic, or get it in color. I mean, I would get it in color because this is banging. Learn all the secrets. And the Donut VHS box. Get the early bird special. This ends today. These sell out so quickly. Very, very popular. And it's the first time ever we're doing them worldwide with the Illuminati comic. Massive discounts today only. Click that link below. The Illuminati street team. Become part of the street team. Get a bunch of these comics and slang them. You can make a bunch of money. You can make your money back and profit.
Shout out to Layla.
A store, you can sell them out of your store, or just hand them out, leave them at the library. Join the Illuminati street team. Or if you a big baller like that and you want to be part of the Illuminati Yacht Club, that's for the big ballers right there who want to join the Illuminati Yacht Club. I mean, that's that official, like a referee whistle pledge right there. So click that link below. This is the Illuminati comic. Sign up right now. Reserve your spot. Much love, and God bless you.
God bless you.
Access the secrets.
That's right, it's the Illuminati comic from Donut and Paranoid American. Get yours now at IlluminatiComic.com.
Secrets.
The Illuminati Yacht Club is so dope too, because it's got all the extra, like when me and Donut were coming up with all the tiers and all the like the cool little things, it was like, I don't know, man, that's a little too wild. Like a huge towel or like an organite donut charm that's got shungite built into it, and it just seemed like way over the top. And I was like, maybe we should have an over the top tier that's got all the cool stuff all in one single place. And now this is like the tier that I'm the most excited about putting together, because these things are going to come in like a massive box packed with stuff. This is going to be probably more exciting than opening up a bunch of presents on Christmas. So this is going to be like a huge Christmas all in one box. These ones are going to be fun to put together and ship out to people, because they're going to be so freaking excited when they see these.
Bro, yeah, the Illuminati Yacht Club, it's just awesome. And the donut Suge Knight, I've always had this one, so it's cool that there's gonna be a custom one with that's gonna be tight. We gotta bring that guy on to talk about the secrets.
Yeah. If you want to access the secrets, you gotta have a donut pendant.
Let me play that clip one more time.
Some of the Illuminati access the secrets.
Access the secrets. Oh man, one more time, and then it's just too funny. You did it perfectly, bro.
We need to just isolate the VO so we can play that as a sound clip.
Secrets.
It's so funny. One more time. This is so good.
The secrets.
Wait, hold on. I gotta bring it to the beginning.
It's the secrets.
If this is a short commercial.
Access the secrets.
I love it, bro. That's so funny. I can't not laugh when I hear that.
Gold, Jerry.
Whistling P Hole says, "Is there a donut box collector's edition?"
We played with that idea a little bit, but the VHS box made the most sense because all the stuff that we're packing into these fits perfectly into one of these little VHS boxes. It was definitely something that we talked about for a while, was doing like a legit donut box. It's just that the donut boxes are usually a little bit flimsy, so it would have been not as practical. I don't know. Maybe that'll be a good stretch goal for the next project.
Yeah. So these stretch goals, tell us a little bit about it, because we're not past our stretch goal. We got to get past 25K right here, and we didn't get any.
We'll definitely get the 25K easy, and all that means is that everyone that gets any of these printed copies, anything from like the $9 tier all the way up to the Illuminati Yacht Club, every single milestone we hit, everyone gets extra stuff. So the one that we've got lined up for the 25, I'm actually really excited about. It's going to be an embroidered patch. So if you get the VIP VHS box, you'll get an embroidered iron-on patch plus a sticker of that patch design. And then anyone that gets the regular VHS box will just get a sticker of that design. But you can see that every single time we hit one of these milestones, everybody gets more stuff in their packages. And these are essentially the things that me and Donut wanted to include with everyone anyways, but you can only really afford to print all of these once we hit some of these milestones, so that we could actually afford to put it in these boxes. So every single one of these, and as it gets higher and higher, we get cooler and cooler stuff that gets included in some of these.
Right. And that's what I think this is so cool, is that like we crashed through the first fully funded, and then it got the unlock button right there. Then we crashed through this one and an unlock button, and it added more gifts to the people who purchased it. So if you buy the donut VHS box, which is international now, I drop these every year and they sell out because I only make about 100 or 200 of them. And you can see that they sell out quickly. That now, whenever we pass these stretch goals, which I'm blown away. We passed through the 5,000, then the 15,000. So more stuff gets added into the VHS box. More people get more stuff. So the next one will be the 25K. So please go support this Illuminati comic. Click the link down below. You could do it while you're streaming on this, and let's get it going. Thank you for
And we
explaining
got
that.
stretch
Paranoid.
goals that don't even involve buying anything at all. We
Right.
got someone at the very, very bottom of this page. We've got a whole bunch of cool fan art stretch goals where we just want you to draw pictures of Chan or Illuminati worms or Illuminati penguins. Even if it's just like a quick little sketch, we want to see it. Take a picture of it. We'll show it on one of these live streams. And once we get 20 different people submitting each of these little these kind of like checkbox, this will also unlock some new content. It might be something physical that everyone gets. It might be a special video that we cover. For example, if we get 20 people that send in fan art for Illuminati penguins, then we'll probably end up doing like a special invite only show that breaks down a whole bunch of penguin symbolism, some of the highlights that we've already gone over before, just in way more detail. We might make a little song for it. Like, who knows what the heck we'll do, but you'll only be able to find out if you submit your artwork.
So you can go do that now. We already got some up, but I'm gonna be adding a new one up there with some dolphin stuff. But I want to first make the first one first and kind of get that planned out. So that'll be revealed on the next show or on Friday's show, maybe Friday's show, but an art piece connected to the dolphins that I think will be like some meme magic that'll go viral for sure, which is going to be hilarious. It's something I wanted to do for a while. But yeah, please click that link below. It is pinned, and we appreciate all your support. With the Illuminati comic, I am super, super pumped. But back to the alien stuff. The Cthulhu, which is the octopus alien, the Europa is where they're at. This is just like all in the brainwashing. Even Elon Musk recently tweeted this last week that Europa has the highest chance of life in our solar system because of the thick protective shell of ice that covers its ocean. That's where they're saying that the aliens are coming from. Oh, bro, check this out. There's a Resident Evil for kids. It's this Disney. 21 years later, an obscure Disney game is selling out online after the internet found out it's Silent Hill and Resident Evil for kids.
We actually just covered this recently on an episode of Occult Disney.
Really?
Yeah, because we just saw, I think it was called Pooh's Hufflum movie. But yeah, in part of that, we were going over some of the more rare Disney games where Winnie the Pooh is basically not the protagonist. And yeah, this is actually a pretty wild game. The Piglet's Big Adventure followed by Piglet's Big Game, because it came out alongside Piglet's Big Adventure. And Piglet's Big Adventure is the Piglet's Big Movie, I think. And Piglet's Big Movie is wild, man. We connected it to all sorts of like MK Ultra programming, because the whole premise of that movie is that Piglet has written down all of his memories in a book, but he loses the book, and therefore he loses the memory. And then throughout the course of the movie, Pooh and Tigger and the rest of them, they find Piglet's book, but then they accidentally drop it in a river. So like some of his memories were completely gone forever. And I couldn't help but keep tying it to MK Ultra and concussion and amnesia research.
I bet you there's a 666 in here, because this looks like a 6, right? And this could be a 6. 6. I don't know where the other 6 would be, because I know Walt Disney got that 666 in there. That's wild. Piglet's Big Movie.
Well, you got April 2003, so the 2-3 makes a 6, right?
3 times 2. Yeah. MK Ultra.
Not a horrible movie, honestly, compared to the other Winnie the Pooh movies. I think Piglet's Big might be my favorite, and there's also Tigger's movie, and that one's wild because the whole premise is they gaslight Tigger the entire time. They make him think that he's got this huge family that's coming to visit him, in order for him to not leave the 100-acre woods. Which also, I don't know, if it feels very much like Tigger was almost like 11 in Stranger Things, and they didn't want to let her leave sort of the compound.
Yeah, and also like the guy who created it, he's got the Twin Peaks in his name.
That
And
AA.
yeah, and I bet you oh look, here's his signature. I bet you he was a writer or a spy. A lot of these
Yet there is a really crazy number of children's specifically famous children authors that all got their start in the intelligence agencies. Like way more than would just constitute a coincidence.
right. So I wouldn't be surprised because he was already connected to the military industrial entertainment complex. He was taught by H.G. Wells. He taught himself to read. One of his teachers was H.G. Wells.
I didn't know that.
That's even crazier, which goes back into the alien stuff that we were talking about in the beginning.
Well, and there's all sorts of really interesting theories on the Winnie the Pooh, and that like it represents all sorts of like mental illnesses. I've heard some where they link all of them to tarot cards or to Jungian archetypes. It is interesting because there's a wide cast of characters, and they cover some fairly adult concepts, but it's watered down obviously for a younger audience.
There's that Illuminati owl. You see him hiding? He looks angry.
Yeah, the books are actually a lot more terrifying than any of the movies. Like even in the movies, the Heffalump, which represents Heffalump movie,
Like
but inside the
Nephilim?
book, have you ever heard of Heffalumps and Woozles?
No. Heffalump?
Dude, Heffalump is crazy too because a Heffalump is the name comes from a child's mispronunciation of the word elephant, so it comes out Heffalump. But Heffalump in the books, they look like elephants. Yeah, they look like Indian elephants, like that one on the right. But in the movie, they'd make them into this like really cute sort of patchwork animals. But they start out as these like dream creatures that Tigger and Pooh both have independent dreams about Heffalump that end up being real. And then Rue goes out into like he goes outside of the 100-acre forest against everyone telling him not to go and catch one of these Heffalump. And the Heffalump, he ends up like basically snatching it, catching it with a lasso, and bringing it into the 100-acre wood. But the Heffalump represents all of their fears manifest, and they've got all this long list of things that the Heffalumps do, and the Heffalump are basically the bad guys in 100-acre wood. Like there's not really any sort of villains in Winnie the Pooh except for the Heffalumps. And they don't come across that way in this particular movie, but in those games, and in particular that Piglet's Big game, that one is they really lean into the Heffalump being the bad guys. And the Heffalump is kind of a placeholder for conspiracy theories and / like xenophobia. That's kind of what it's supposed to represent in that world.
Bro, that's what we're totally gotta do. We gotta do all. I have no idea about this, but you gotta come on and do a Disney occult decode for us, please.
The best one is Fantasia, in my opinion. Fantasia is the one to consider because it's a literal magical incantation that Disney casts in order to create an entire Disney universe, which I would argue is very real at this point. The Disney universe might even live longer than our universe.
Oh, it will, for sure. Well, I mean, at least our lifetimes. Somebody had a good question. Where can they submit their penguin drawings too?
Send
for the
it to either of
structural?
us on social media. You can send it to contact@paranoidamerican.com. Any way you can get it to us, and we will show it on the next show as soon as we get any of those sketches. And if you want to do one of each, that's fine too. Like we would love to see all of your artwork.
It would be heffa cool. That's a funny thing. If you could do that for us, come on and do a occult Disney decode about all these Disney films that
Happy to, man. I've got a lot of notes on these because we've been doing this series for over 2 years now, and I think that was the first time I was on Tinfoil Hat with Sam. That's when I met Sam, was to go and do a Disney breakdown. And I guess in case it hasn't come up or if anyone's just watching, that's kind of where I got my start in doing comics at all, is that I worked at Disney on the back lot here in Orlando doing animation in the Roy O. Disney production building, which was connected to the animation building. So I spent 10 years doing animation at Disney and got to work with all this IP, had the huge like folders full of Disney like Mickey Mouse and Goofy and Winnie the Pooh and all that stuff. So this was kind of what I was staring at and animating day in, day out for a decade.
somebody says Pooh Shiesty will be released 4/25/26 a year earlier than expected.
Who's Pooh? This sounds like a rapper.
Yeah, sounds like he's talking about the rapper. That'd be interesting. So here's Chi Chang Pang has banned Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh's banned because he looks like Chi Chang Pang. So Chi Chang Pang banned Winnie the Pooh or jokes about him. Did China ban Winnie the Pooh? They did. They actually banned Winnie the Pooh because he looks like Chi Chang Pang. So I think that this movie, my hypothesis is that they made Winnie the Pooh the evil bad guy, and it was just propaganda against China.
I mean, Winnie the Pooh doesn't honestly have that many redeeming qualities from an objective standpoint. He's sort of like the lazy socialist in every situation. Like as long as he's got his honey, then he's fine. But then if he doesn't, he'll just break into your house and he'll eat your honey too, and now it's your problem.
That's wild. That's some wild stuff. I can't wait to do that stream. All coming from this. And I also like this style of graphics. Can you do AI art using this like 2000?
Yeah, there's models that have been trained on Nintendo 64 or PlayStation 1 or old Amiga. Like there's a different model for each different platform. So it's real easy to generate images or even videos on very specific aesthetics. Like this doesn't look like PS1. This one looks like PS2 or 3.
I just like this like old school 3D look. It just reminds me of playing games. But y'all are here. The experts are testifying about the US. He's showing this document. He's so sad because this document is showing that they're censoring these 2 articles. So those like big black lines, that is like, we're not going to show you the UFO reports. And they're like, the UFOs are in the ocean and in the sky. And here's Mortal Kombat. They just dropped a new game that looks fun. And it's like the most bloodiest thing you'll ever see. You can't even watch it unless you're signed in.
I love that game growing up. That was the game.
Well, now they got Ghostface in it from Scream. Yeah, it's very gory.
Well, they did that on one of the previous releases too, where they had like Freddy and Jason and a whole bunch of like horror, like monster movie kind of creatures.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, that was when they started doing a lot of the harder like DLC. Like you'd have to buy a certain pack and they also made console exclusives. So like you could only get Freddy on this console, like on the PlayStation, but you couldn't get it on, another one.
Oh, okay. That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. Let's see what other stuff I got. I got a bunch of this alien stuff. All these videos. Videos for days. Let me pull this
And he's
up.
got a star. I didn't know that.
Who?
Winnie the Pooh has his own star on the Hollywood.
Yes, he's he got his own star. He's famous. Well, with the whole alien thing, I got all this different information on it. How Mars attacks is the dolphin brain. That's a dolphin brain, right? And it's the Mars attack brain as well. It looks very similar because it's similar to a human brain. That's why the experiments on dolphins took place, was because of the left and right hemispheres were very similar to a human. They're bigger than a human though.
I wonder, like that salamander thing that you were mentioning. I wonder if that you could take like half a human brain and half a dolphin brain, and like squish them together and see if that would still work.
That's nuts, bro. Here's the flag of the Martians as well in Mars attacks, which is our dollar bill. Dollar bill, yo. Oh, and here's H.G. Wells. I was connecting their UFO to another like Masonic symbol. So like this symbol right here, when they were building America and they lay the cornerstone down for America, it looks like that. It looks like that. I don't know if I have it up here. This is an old ass video. This will be a good thumbnail. Where'd it go? This is like what it's like looking through my phone. When I look through my phone and all the pictures, it's like this. Trauma, 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 trauma. Yeah. Let's see what's on this video right here. Trying to see if I got any more alien stuff. Not really. But I'm very excited. I appreciate everybody tuning in to all Illuminati news. Please go and support the channel. Go support Paranoid American. Go subscribe to him, guys. Links down below. We're gonna be back with Jacob Israel. We got other guests booked for this month. We're streaming live every day. Unless you don't want us to stream live every day, and we won't. So put your comment down below if you do like the daily lives. It looks like a lot of people are loving the live, so that's good. We'll keep it pushing. And also, most importantly, go support this journey of the Illuminati comic research. Got those links all down below. You know where to get it. You know you want it.
Yeah, like, do you want this kind of comic to exist? And we might have some other tiers or some other things that we were talking about earlier, but like maybe you're not able to get 20 of these things and spread them out, or maybe that's just not your personality, is to grab a huge chunk of these pamphlets and just pump them out in public. So we've got a whole bunch of people, like an overwhelming number of people that did sign up to the street team. So we might have a way that like every time someone gets a comic for themselves, we'll give an extra one to a street team member, so that you know that the message will get spread to another person somewhere out there in the world that otherwise never would have came across this. So I don't know, that might be a cool incentive, another way to get more and more of these books out into the wild.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. The street team is tight. People like the street team. You can get the comic and all that. Appreciate it. Got
Yeah,
them
the
links down
street
below.
team, every single tier that you're part of, you're gonna be amazed at how much stuff you get. And none of them left out of that. Even if you just get the $9 tier, you're gonna be amazed at all the extra cool stuff that you're gonna get with that. The street team and the yacht club, like you guys are getting hooked up. Like it's gonna be a huge box of stuff.
Yeah, the yacht club is where it's at for sure. The big ball of yacht club. But if you can't get the yacht club, the VHS box is super affordable. Highly recommend getting the VHS box, and I can't wait to see the artwork. Here, let me go check and see if got any updates on the artwork. Can't
Want to
wait
do
to
some real-time art updates. Yeah, and right now the one of the extra art prints is getting worked on, so we'll be able to share that tomorrow or maybe the next day. And then we'll slowly start showing all the other artwork that hasn't been revealed yet, because we're still working on it. It's a lot of work to put all these different things together. So as we finish each one of them, we're gonna display them.
bro. That's the thing too. It's like the work that went into it. First, we spent the whole year doing the research and writing the comic book, and then we get the comic book done, and then now we doing the release of all the different gift items of the all that stuff. So yeah, and then on top of that, doing the live streams every day too. So coming up, so it's a campaign, but that's cool. That's like,
Well, and I was comparing all this to all the other major projects that are on Kickstarter right now, the other comic projects, and every single project that I could see that was even coming close to the scale of all the rewards and the tiers and all the effort that's going into all this. And they've got like 30 people on the team. Like every single one of them is like a huge team of 30 people with like managers that are doing each and everything. And so far, it's been like me, you, Pukey Pete, and Swap Trap, the main artist of the Illuminati comic. So 4 people are basically doing what it takes 30 people to do outside of this.
yeah, and we want to beat the mainstream. Like the mainstream, they put out Illuminati comic as well, and they had a team and a marketing team and all that. And we trying to outdo Charlemagne the God, who put out his Illuminati comic. And this is an interesting thing that Red Pill Talk says you could set up an affiliate link to encourage resharing comic.
We definitely have that. As soon as this, the way that it works is that we need to run this campaign so that we can figure out how many copies of the comic to actually get printed up. So we don't get not enough and we don't get too many printed up. So once the campaign runs its course, we'll run it so that we've got enough to then put up on the website and you make it available for everyone. And when that happens, when it's available just on the website, yeah, we'll have affiliates and everything. But I mean, even better than the affiliate, to be honest, is that street team. If you get that street team tier, you're going to get a whole chunk of these pamphlets to do whatever you want with. You can go and slang them. You can give them out to people. You can slip them into like existing books. Like you were saying, you could leave them at the library. Like actually, that's how Chick Tracks originally worked. That's how I found my first Chick Track was on, and I don't think these even exist anymore. But back in my day, they had these things called payphones that you would put money into, and you could make a phone call like out in the real world. But that's where you would find all these Chick Tracks. Someone would leave it on like the top of a payphone. They would leave it just out in like a public area. So that's really the main goal here. It's almost to just get these things, as many of these we possibly can, out in the real world and in the hands of like the unsuspecting public. Like the best thing in the world is some unsuspecting, like 16 or like a 15-year-old kid sees a little like, are you being mind controlled by the Illuminati? And they're like, I don't know. I'm not even sure if I know what that means. I've heard of the Illuminati before. I know what mind control is. So just imagine that some normie comes across this and this is their first introduction to this. They're going to learn everything that you could possibly learn about this. And it would also cut through all that mainstream crap that kind of gets buried like over all of the actual Illuminati knowledge. So I don't know. That's really the main goal deep down, is to make these so prolific that you'll be able to find these everywhere.
Yeah, no, that is genius. It's like you're just chilling, and then like on the counter.
And Jack Chick, the guy that started the Chick Tracks, he got his start because he was literally making propaganda for the government, I believe. And he found out that the most effective way to do this was to basically make little comic books, and that when they made comic books, that was able to spread the information so much farther and by so many more people. So he started to do that with his own messages, and also found that to be incredibly powerful. So I mean, we'd be silly not to follow that same sort of track and just make it with our own information.
Bro, that's freaking so cool. I had no idea. And like I got these like little public book stands in all the neighborhoods in Arizona where it's like a library of books on people's front yard.
Yes, man. See that? Like I want to get people a huge pack of these. If you know that you've got those little neighborhood bookstore things where like, you know, take a book, leave a book kind of deal, like just let us know. And I want to get people these pamphlets so that they can go into those little books all over the place. Like that's the goal here, man.
Yeah, and the street team is part of that.
They're the front lines. They're the front lines to make that happen.
Yeah, so by becoming a member of the Illuminati street team, you're getting a bunch of these packets, and we'll figure out a way that the more people who subscribe, everyone gets more packets, because I think that'd be cool. I know we talked about it a little bit as well earlier today. Well, we'll figure it out.
I mean, we're only on day 3, right? We've been working on this for so long. It feels like we're on like month 3, but it's really only day 3 of the campaign so far.
Yeah, it's day 3, like live, but like we've been working on it for over a year, you know, so it's a lot longer for sure. And it's fun. It's fun. It's creating. It's dope. It's dope. Anything else, Paranoid American, before we sign out?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what day, but we're still planning on doing a little talk that won't be able to be streamed on YouTube one of these nights. So we'll probably end up having a normal show, but maybe about an hour in or something, we're going to say, okay, now everyone switch over to, and maybe it'll be Rumble, or it'll be X or something. And I'll do a full walkthrough on another topic that I've been researching for years. The one that kind of blew up a little bit on Twitter, and honestly, I didn't
blew up a little bit. It's
a world
like
expert or anything, but yeah, I feel like I got all the details, I got all the receipts, I got all the research that not a lot of other people have done on this particular topic. So I'm excited about that.
You're downplaying. His thread on Twitter got over 4 or 5 million impressions. Over 4 or 5 million impressions. Probably.
Well, technically it was over 16 million because they were long threads. So the first post in the threads, they got a combined 6 million, but all the posts within the threads, it was like well over 16 million.
That's insane. That's crazy numbers right there. So we're going to be doing that on the private channel over on Paranoid's Twitter or Rumble and all that. So make sure to go subscribe there, and go subscribe to the IlluminatiComic.com. Much love, and God bless y'all. Illuminati Comic.
Illuminati Comic. You know you want it. This Illuminati Comic. Learn about the full history of the Bavarian Illuminati. Adam Weishaupt, Alumbrados, Jesuits, Rosicrucians, Freemasons, and more. From the 18th century to modern day, we expose it all. Illuminati Comic. You know you want it. This Illuminati Comic. That's right, it's the Illuminati Comic from Donut and Paranoid American. Get yours now at IlluminatiComic.com.